Hello students, welcome to Science and Tech series with Dr. Vivek Rana. Hope all of you are doing well and preparing your GS with full dedication. So topic for today's discussion is from robotics section. As we know, in UPSC syllabus there is specific mention of the theme awareness in fields of IT, computer, robotics. So basically the theme which we are discussing is likely to be a major theme which can be asked in UPSC main section. Even in this year's prelims we have seen the basic question appearing on introduce the concept of artificial intelligence and what is the role of AI in medical clinics and what are some controversies associated with use of such technology in the health domain. So now the theme which we are decoding is more or less related to a similar dimension. We'll be discussing the national strategy for robotics, which is in news this week because Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology has unveiled the draft national strategy for robotics theme, and the subcomponent of this major strategy is the National Robotics Mission. So whenever some major policy is introduced or government is trying to implement in near future, such themes become relevant from mains perspective because they want to see the temperament of new civil servants who are going to be future administrators, that whether they are willing to invest or take risk with the emerging technologies, what kind of attitude and aptitude they carry while adopting technology for good governance, because that's what is the buzzword in current theme. So basically when you are going through this theme, you just have to just go into a little background at what is the current standing of India in robotics. As per the global report on robotics 2022, India currently is ranked 10 in terms of you could say the maximum number of industrial applications, or you could say the installations of robotics. Because we have seen conventionally it's the automobile manufacturing sector which are the heavy users of industrial robots, and slowly India is want to catapult into the global stage in this rapidly dynamic field of robotics and AI. So the aim of the strategy is straightforward. They want to catalyze this technology for socio-economic aspirations of the country, as is with the other technology aspirations as well. So they want to set an ambitious target of being in top 5 in terms of robotics by 2030, and basically this strategy is aimed at strengthening the innovation, because this is what is particularly lacking in some sections of domains in which we want to streamline our process. So this strategy is going to give impetus to those sections so that we can strengthen innovation, research and development in this area of robotics. But ultimately, we are in cusp of Industry 4, and the current era is going to be dominated by Internet of Things, and automation is going to be the new normal in lot of sectors. So we cannot just keep on delaying or stay just mute spectator to the evolution of robotics. Now, in the National Robotics Mission as well as in strategy, the government has clearly identified 4 major core areas, and this is where the mains part comes into the picture, because they will likely to ask you how robotics or potentially the scope of robotics in transforming common person's life, or what could be the role robotics can play in the India's you could say transition to a developed economy by 2047. The 4 key pillars which are already critical for any country in economic growth have been identified as the 4 core zones. The agriculture sector, we all know it's the primary sector, almost half of the individuals are dependent, and it contributes roughly 13 to 15% to the economy. Then we have the healthcare sector, which we all know India wants to streamline its healthcare services, and if India wants to make a gradual transition from developing to developed, we have to upgrade our healthcare facilities to next level of state-of-art technologies. And also this robotics can play a decisive role in national security, because we have seen in geopolitics situation and to hostile neighbors, we need to invest in robotics for our national security purposes as well. New challenges are emerging. And finally, the conventional sector of manufacturing, where we are already investing a lot, has been once again highlighted. So when you are writing such answers, make sure you have specific domains in each section in which robotics can play some positive role. For example, if we take the healthcare sector, currently we have seen Da Vinci robot is playing a quite critical role in robotic assisted surgery. And we have seen a little more robot which was deployed during, you could say, Ebola times for medical waste management. So specifically this time in the national strategy they have highlighted the role of telemedicine, because we will see emergence of humanoids who will be just helping telemedicine in remote areas, because we want to make healthcare accessible to distant things. And now with 5G infrastructure ready, hopefully the telemedicine application is going to take a major tectonic shift. And also, apart from the medical waste management and the typical, we can say, robotic surgeries, this is where the robotics is going to be more accessible, because we have seen the major advantage of robotic assisted surgeries is that they are more precise, patient recovers quickly, there is lesser hospital stay, and eventually it is considered low cost solution and less for economy. Even though there are some plethora of challenges as well, but today we will be focusing only on the positive aspects. So make sure once you are mentioning healthcare, the role of robotic as an assistant, and if you can integrate artificial intelligence, then drug delivery systems as well as data keeping, new drug discoveries, vaccination formation, there are other associated things which can be linked. So you can expect a full-fledged question which was asked in this year UPSC mains as well. Now coming to the agriculture, this is once again a major theme in which you can mold your answer and gives various dimensions how robotics can play a decisive role. Currently the government has highlighted that these robotics can be used as a drone for surveillance purposes to assess the damages caused by hailstorm. We have already Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana, where post-harvest losses are covered by use of such technologies. But it is mainly now want to take a tectonic shift by almost taking over the field from the sowing of seeds to harvesting. So basically all such dimensions like spraying of harmful, you could say pesticides, chemicals, that can be safely done through this mechanization process. You could do some precision sowing of seeds at designated length, you could save on manual labor cost, and then harvesting can also be deployed. Also for associated themes like stubble burning theme as well, we can employ some mechanical methods which could be quick fix solution. Also removal of weedicide, weeds can also be handled. In UK there was a specific project called Hand on Hectares project. In that project we have seen that how robotics was employed right from the first to the final stage, and the mechanization is already taking rapid strides in developed economies. So India is also going to make use of technology, and it is going to be in larger picture better for agriculture, because we have a growing population to feed. India today is now world's most populous nation, and the food security is going to be a major challenge considering the climate change vagaries. We have seen how North India this time was affected by the major flooding cycle and created almost a possibility of a drought there in some other regions. So basically agriculture theme is once again an important theme. Make sure you have some specific examples and you could employ the various themes there. In manufacturing state, to the basics, that it will help in logistics management, it will augment supply chain for lifting heavy loads, or due to any repetitive routine task can be done manually by robotics, because all these industrial robots or big workplace robots have distinct advantage of being not prone to fatigue, pain, emotions, and there is no risk of life as well. So for any mechanical purpose where routine, mundane tasks are to be performed, industrial robots stay in good lead. You can easily cut short a lot of manual cost, and they do not require any leave, or any health concerns are also associated. Because in some sector there is risk of some accidents and some you could say injuries or loss of life can be expected. So that's why almost all major MNCs are today employing robotics. So India is not going to be exceptional. Now the final theme which they have highlighted is interesting one, because it's quite debatable as well. It caters to the national security, because all that economic growth of country, or we can say development of the country, rests on how you safeguard your sovereignty and how you deal external and internal security challenges. So now the theme which has been highlighted, which robotics is going to play a role, is mainly catering to the border surveillance, and they are also deploying killer robots, as we have seen in SGR-A1 in North and South Korea. So defense soldiers, you can call them intelligence soldier, or you could say robotic soldiers, whatever you feel like. They will be deployed at sensitive borders, specifically line of actual control, and they would have this distinct advantage of covering the larger area. And once again, there are no biases as well, but still a lot needs to be done in domain of artificial intelligence. Only then we could get the desired results which we are anticipating. And also we have seen that in case of mine detection as well as explosives, robotics is comparatively a better technology to be deployed, because we have seen some precious lives being lost during bomb diffuser or handling some hazardous objects. So we already we have seen deployment of Daksh, which is a remotely operated vehicle which is specifically for similar purpose. In US, we have is a front runner. It has deployed so many drones. Even MQ-1 Predator is an example by which they are minimizing the human losses and catering to the diverse domain of intelligence gathering as well as dropping bombs. So warfare could be another dimension where such robotics could play a handy role. So I hope now you have got a fair idea how to justify the deployment of robotics for socio-economically, and we can say that our national strategy for robotics is aligned with the national, you could say, development aspirations. There is a mixed match of, you could say, balancing our priorities and responsibility, at the same time safeguarding our interest to use of technology. So for more dimensions, you can attend our class lecture. There are other themes as well. And coming to the background part, make sure you also go through another interesting question which was asked few years back in UPSC. They had asked, what are areas of prohibitive labor which can be sustainably managed by robotics? So it was some years back. So make sure you don't confuse that thing with this one, because prohibitive labor is entirely a different domain in which we have to highlight some different applications like mining, manual scavenging, defense, space endeavors, or used in chemical industries or some cracker industry. So I hope I have made reasonable, you could say, new inputs into your theme, and hopefully it would have added a little more value to your answer writing activity. Feel free to attempt any mains question catering to robotics or AI and get them evaluated. We will be ready to help you in your answer writing endeavors. So we'll be back soon with another science and tech or environment themes on this channel. So stay connected. Have a nice day. Thank you very much.